there are three types of marriages. We have the customary marriage, we have the ordinance, and then we have the Islamic. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just going to list some key points. The customary marriage is polygamous. If a man marries you in a customary way, he can marry other women. The ordinance is one man, one wife. The Islamic can also marry multiple women, I think up to 4. And Ghana also recognizes marriages from other countries. There's something we call conflict of laws. It's renvoi, conflict of laws. So a marriage that was entered into in a different country that is recognized in that country is also recognized in Ghana. Divorce that is, the divorce decree that is issued in another country is recognized in Ghana as long as it conformed with the country where it was done. For ordinance, if you start divorce proceedings and you don't finish it, that doesn't amount to divorce. You're still legally bound to each other. I think Lumba's situation, there's a lot of complications to it that you think you're following and then something pops up and you're like, oh. You think, oh, let me follow this trend, and something pops up and you're like, oh, okay, hold on. But all of us know that when a person dies, the body belongs to the family, his extended family. And their accounts are matrilineal. So his body now belongs to his extended family, which is his maternal relatives. And for me, all these things going on, and have I answered your questions before I dive into other things?
Absolutely, but I wanted to establish, so once it was not dissolved,
it is still legal.
Can he take, because it's one man, one wife, can he take a second? And would the second be recognized?
Well, people can say what they want to say. Legally, the second marriage cannot be recognized. Okay. Because I've heard people say that, oh, she took the drink and all of that. I don't know how that works. I don't know her sending the drinks back to the family. I don't know how that works. So I don't even want to say that I know. But what I know is that as far as you've entered into the ordinance marriage and you don't have a final decree on it, you're still legally married. But then you want to go into other aspects of being a wife. I read something that somebody said, oh, she was made to believe that Odobroni was a housemaid. So I had some questions. My questions were, who made her to believe that? As the wife, if my husband is sick, I make the decision on who takes care of my husband. I make that decision. If I cannot take care of my husband, I make that decision. I would not leave that decision for somebody to make, and then I am told that this person taking care of my husband, this is the person taking care of your husband, so where were you? So to want to be recognized as a wife, if I'm sitting on the bench, I would have a lot of questions. When was the last time you performed any duties as a wife? I think the court will look at that. When the guy died, when the man passed, when he passed, who was there? We all know he's been sick for a while. When was the last time you performed your wife duties? You can't just say I'm married to a person and abscond and then show up and say I should be declared as the wife. You've been separated for a while. So the whole time you've been separated, you still think you are a wife? So, I mean, I think a reasonable judge would have a lot of questions for them to answer. And for, I think her attorneys, I think that headline I read, it was said that it was her attorneys that said she was made to believe. I said, that's ridiculous.